Hey, what's up? My name is Whitney and welcome to my channel, Whit's Life. This is all about my life, and May is Cystic Fibrosis Awareness Month. I suffer from cystic fibrosis and I have to get that awareness out to you guys. I wanted to tell you about my disease. It is an inherited genetic disease that is caused by a faulty sweat chloride gene in the body. Because of this, it has a salt imbalance and it causes an override of mucus in my internal organs. Pretty much all of my internal organs are clogged up with mucus. They're diseased. They don't work properly, especially the lungs, the liver, the pancreas, the whole digestive system. I get lots of lung infections, which cause lung damage, which could cause lung failure. And I have to take tons of digestive enzymes so I can absorb my food. I have liver issues, I get bowel blockages, things like that. Each case of cystic fibrosis is completely different. One person may have mild lung issues and severe digestive. The next person maybe vice versa. We're all completely different. We have different genes in the body, and CF affects us all differently. It's all case by case. So I ask you all, what are some questions that you want answered about cystic fibrosis and that you would like for me to answer in this video? And so I'm going to go ahead and read them off on my phone. So sorry if I'm looking down, but why do some CF patients have a G feeding tube and others don't have one? Well, that is because, a lot of us do have a G feeding tube because we're skinny. It's hard for us to digest food, and that's how we get our nutrients, is through a G feeding tube. Not all of us have it because not everyone has trouble gaining weight and getting nutrients. But like I said, everyone with CF, they're case by case, completely different. I don't have a G feeding tube, although I have had trouble in the past gaining weight, but I really focus on diet and trying to eat well and things like that, so I personally don't need one. Another question is, do you have to use a mask every time you go out? Okay, during the pandemic, of course, I'm not going out, but if I had to, I would wear a mask. During flu season, I try to stay inside my house, but if I do go somewhere, I wear a mask. If I go to the CF clinic, I do wear a mask, or if there's a large crowd. Our immunities are very, very low, and if we catch even a small cold, it could make us very ill for quite a while, so it's really hard to get over it. Is the cold weather too harmful for CF patients? No, not really. Weather-wise, I do better in the summer. I guess it's because I'm more active, but cold weather, it doesn't harm us, but it can be, to me personally, very cold weather is hard for me to breathe in, and normally during cold weather there's like flus and colds and things like that going around, so I'm not really too healthy in the cold weather. Do all CF patients have diabetes? No, we do not. I personally have CFRD, cystic fibrosis related diabetes, because over time, I'm 29 years old with CF. I haven't always had it. I got diagnosed with it a few years ago as my CF has progressed, and that's something that some people will have to go through. Not everyone will get diabetes, and it's just different from each person. But yes, a lot of times, earlier, like in my younger years, they said I could develop diabetes, so it's something that I had to really watch and not eat tons of sugar, because I was pre-diabetic for a while, and then I eventually got diabetes. And another one is, how do you know if you have a mild case of CF? So like, to find out, I don't know if they meant like, how do you find out if you have CF? There's a sweat chloride test, and I took that when I was a baby. I was diagnosed at 4 weeks old, and that's how I figured out I had CF. I have a mild case. I've had, my CF has become more mild because it's more manageable through medications. Another one, how often do you need to eat throughout the day? So I try to eat small meals, like multiple small meals throughout the day to keep my blood sugar good. So I personally, I'll eat 3 times, and then I'll probably eat 2 snacks just to keep myself going. And I also have gastroparesis, so I have to eat pretty small meals. So I'm hungry a lot throughout the day. Do CF patients have any facial differences? And no, that's not something that we have, but we do. A lot of us often have club fingers, the round fingers, and then they have like a barreled chest and things like that. Like, we do have somewhat body differences. Some of us do. My clubbing is very mild, but I do have a barreled chest, and it's something that it's bothered me for a long time. Another one was, how many times do you do treatments in a day? Me personally, you know, we're all different, but I will do, when I'm healthy, 2 breathing treatments a day. I'll do my vest. I use a machine called a vest, and I do that for 30 minutes in the morning and 30 at night. And then I have also like 2 inhaled nebulizer treatments in the morning and 2 at night when I'm healthy. So that's like a lot of breathing treatments. It takes up a lot of my time. So I have to get up earlier than the average person, and then like if I'm out with friends, I have to go home earlier than the average person just to do these treatments. How long can you spend time outside? I guess it depends on if I'm feeling good or not. Like, energy is, it's hard for me to get energy, but I force myself to be active, because if you don't use your lungs, you're gonna lose them. So I try to stay outside. Like, when the weather is pretty, I'll stay out as much as I can, like at least a few hours a day. Do CF patients have allergies? Yeah, because of all the mucus and things like that. I have terrible allergies. Springtime and fall time is the worst. I'm constantly like blowing out snot and coughing up stuff, things like that, you know, because we have extra mucus. Do you need to keep everything you use sterilized? Yeah, I'm a germaphobe, and because little things make me sick for a long time, I sterilize everything, like especially my cell phone. If I'm out in public, I'll just, when I come home, I wipe it down with alcohol. I'll wash my hands when I get home, things like that, you know, common sense. Yeah, so let me see. CF patients cannot be close in contact with others. Does that mean a life without intimacy, full abstinence from a married life and children? Okay, so I'm an open book. I'm not afraid to answer these questions. Yes, we can be intimate, of course, and we can be around other people. We're not contagious. I think that maybe you might have it confused, because cystic fibrosis patients, if I'm around another cystic, I'm not supposed to be, because we have different bacteria on our lungs, and if we cough and that bacteria is in the air, one of us could catch each other's bacteria, and it could be very bad. As far as that, nothing different. Can we have babies and things like that? Yes, it can be harder. It depends on if we're healthy enough to carry and things like that. I know that with the mucus and in our organs, it can be harder to become pregnant, and some people are sterile a lot, and that's pretty common in men with CF, so it's a little harder to become pregnant and have kids. Another CF patient said, a good one we get a lot is why the 6-foot rule when it comes to other CFers. Like I said, we have different bacterias. Like, I have MRSA and Pseudomonas. I'm not afraid to say that, guys, but there are different strains of Pseudomonas, and there's also Cepacia. There's so many different bacteria that we could carry on our lungs, and the more bacteria we have, the more infections that we can get, which causes lung damage. I know there's a lot of cystics that don't follow that 6-foot rule, but I'm one of those that do, because my life is so precious to me. And then, or why are they isolated to their rooms during admissions? Yeah, when we go into the hospital, we can't go out of our rooms. A lot of us can't. I am positive with staph, MRSA, and if you're positive with that, the hospitals are normally pretty like cautious when they're going in your rooms. They're gonna suit up, and you can't just roam around the hospital unless you're in a gown and a mask and things like that. Another one is, what is one thing you wish people knew about cystic fibrosis? And I don't know, that's so hard. I think that I don't know if there's like one thing I wish that people would know about it. I just wish more people would know about it, because I've explained CF so many times and I don't mind that whatsoever, but I want it to become a more household name, because the more people that know about it, the more chance people are going to donate, and the more medicines can come out and a better chance for a cure. That's all. The next question is, how many pills do you take a day? And I don't know. I want to say like 55 to 60. I take pancrease, and that's an enzyme that helps me digest my food every time I eat, and I take 20 to 25 of those a day, plus my other medications. I don't want to focus on numbers, you know, so I don't really know how many I take a day. I can tell you the whole list of medicine I take. It's a lot. So another one is, if you got COVID-19, could it be bad? Absolutely. It's a respiratory illness, and my lungs are already fragile, so if it attacked that, it could be very bad. That's why I'm staying in my house. Another one is, what is the life expectancy for someone with CF? And this is not something that I personally focus on, although with medicines coming out to better treat our disease, it's coming up, you know, it's going higher and higher all the time, and I really am so happy to hear that my brothers and sisters with CF are living longer. So yeah, those were the questions that I got. If you have any more questions, leave them down below, because I'm an open book. If you are someone with CF, just know that I wish you the best. My prayers to you, and we are in this fight together, and I love you all. I would love it if you would like this video, comment, share this so that other people can know about cystic fibrosis, and I appreciate the support so much. I will never give up this fight with CF, because life is so worth it. Thank you guys, and I will catch you very soon.